Good morning, welcome back. Today, I am going to try to answer the age-old question of, is it worth it? Is it worth buying IBC Totes for a Kubota BX? Can it lift it? Can it load it? Can it manage it? Does it even matter? What's the good of having one of these if you have a tractor with such limited lift capacity? So I'm not going to get into weights, like how much does this weigh. You can see how much wood it's filled with. It's about a third full. No, it's about exactly a third full. So let me just show you right now what the Kubota will do with, now this is a mix of oak, ash, and maybe a little bit of elm in there. It's heavy wood. It's not 100% dry yet, but when you load these up, they're not going to be 100% dry. So anyway, let's just get to it and show you what it'll do. So your first question is going to be, well, if I've got a load like this, can I at least move it around my wood yard? Can I, take it from A to B and put it somewhere where I can store it and let it dry? So will it move it? Yes, it'll move it. Now, the question also becomes, if I've got a load like this, can I take this and put it in the back of a truck and load it? So, will it load it? Let's see how high it'll go. Yes, it will load it. That is high enough to get in the back of a pickup truck for sure. So now it comes to answering the question of, well, is it worth it? This much wood? It's not a lot of wood, That's a couple of scoops. Doesn't take that long to throw that into a pickup truck by hand. So what's the point of having it in an IBC tote right here? I can't see much of a point of it. Really, it doesn't make much sense to just have this small amount of wood sitting in this big IBC tote, unless you're moving your stuff around a lot. I mean, I don't know what your wood yard management's like, but I've been using these because since we moved and everything's in flux. So I figure it's nice to be able to put it in something that I can move to where it's eventually going to be stacked, and I don't have to worry about it. It's gonna just hold it until then. But if you have a BX, a Kubota BX, and not something big enough that's gonna lift a full basket, for this much wood, I just don't even know. What if, instead of using this entire tote, I cut this all the way down to, well, even up to here, cut it in half and leave this top, because you can stack these. So now I can take this full of wood and I can stack another one right on top of it and just keep on going. And then you're getting tall stacks. You're keeping all of your wood compressed into one area. It's almost like stacking the wood, but stacking it in separate baskets. I thought of that a while ago, and I thought, well, that's a good idea. But once again, why? Why would I stack wood in baskets on top of each other? Unless I'm loading this directly into somebody's truck and then they're going to bring the basket back, because these are $50 a piece, and that's a cheap price. I think finding them at $50 a piece is a reasonable price. But then you got to trust that person's going to bring it back, or you got to have a deposit. Then you think, well, okay, wait a minute, maybe I can rig one of these so I can dump it. Now I've seen on Mike Morgan's channel where he empties these IBC totes with his skid steer. And that track loader, man, it can just shake those baskets like they're nothing, and it just shakes the wood right out of them. I've thought of maybe an idea of hinging the front so that the front opens up. It's a possibility. I don't know how strong this stuff would be or how long that would last. It'd be a lot of work. It'd be a lot of expense. It'd be a lot of time to do that for every basket. And once again, just for this little bit of wood, because I've got a Kubota BX that won't lift a whole lot more than this, I'm still not finding a good reason for it. All right, this basket here is obviously considerably more full than that one. When I say considerably, I mean, it's half full and that one's only a third. So it has more wood in it, let's just say that one. Now, these are bigger chunks, they're wonky chunks. These are the stuff that I'm gonna give to my dad. A lot of this stuff is paper light because it's just on the edge of being punky and rotten. So some of this wood's lighter than this because this is mostly oak. I'm really not gonna, once again, I don't care how much they weigh. I care about the volume of wood that I can manage with an IBC tote. Now, questions once again come up, and why am I moving it? Number one. And two, am I able to empty it with the tractor? Can I dump it? Because I don't see any reason to load this into somebody else's truck, and I don't see any reason to try and turn these into something that I can dump. I honestly, when you have a Kubota BX and you can only move this volume of wood, I have not found that there's any real benefit to having these IBC totes. That I think it's way better to use a trailer. To hook a trailer to the back of the BX, I can put, you can pull 3,500 pounds with this tractor. I put well over 1,000 pounds in that little trailer of mine, and I can take a third of a cord of wood over and stack it at a time. That to me is the way to manage it. The IBC totes, I'm just not seeing a good reason for it with a tractor that doesn't lift that large of a volume of wood. And finally, I need to make some few points here about my operation and why I started thinking about this. So I did use these, and they came in very handy for the move, obviously, when I put all my tools in them and brought them here. But for a while now, I haven't been using these as I thought I would when I bought them. My situation, I'm not burning wood anymore. I'm supplying wood for my dad, and I'm selling wood. So maybe if you're using these to bring wood to your house, so you may store them in a field, and like I said, you can probably lift, you know, at least 2/3. And if you lift it with the back of your tractor, like I have that carry-all, you can lift even more. So that seems like it might make sense. Store them out in a field, you're gonna burn them in your house, bring them up to your house, and then just take the wood directly out of the bin to burn at your own house. But if you're selling firewood or delivering firewood in any way, this is not the way to store it. Quite frankly, finding out that I can scoop firewood with the BX because I'm on concrete now is the biggest game changer I have encountered. And I think that once I can get my firewood or wood yard, concrete wood yard cleaned up and ready to put firewood in, so that I can just scoop it into a trailer, that's gonna be the biggest advantage to me. I'll keep these. I've only got 5 of them. I only invested about 250 bucks in them, and I'll use them for something. Like they came in handy just now to sort all of this, but I don't know. Maybe if I get a bigger tractor someday. I've got dreams. Anyway, hey, I appreciate all the new subscribers. Thanks for hitting that button, and welcome to the channel. And you know, go back and watch some of the older videos if you want to see how we got here. I really am thankful for that. It really is an encouraging thing to see all the new subscribers. So anyway, this is going to air the day after, or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you're enjoying the new Workshop Wednesdays. This coming Wednesday, it's a tool that really helps when you're doing a job that would otherwise be a real pain in the butt. So make sure you tune in to see that, and we'll catch you then when I'm doing more stuff.